The storm that proved fatal to all my fears. It started when I was a child. The sky would grow dark and my heart would sink. I remember fearing that this might be the start of Armageddon. As a Jehovah's Witness, I was shown photographs of thunder and lightning as a precursor to fire and calamity for anyone who was not a Jehovah's Witness. Even witnesses themselves were not safe. The rules of entering God's favor were at best vague and at worst unknown. These rules were often determined by a governing body who referred to themselves as God's earthly organization. They printed bi-monthly magazines called The Watchtower and Awake, and these magazines would go into questions of doctrine. The problem was that these doctrines or rules kept changing. Sometimes they claimed that they did speak for God, and other times claimed that they were merely men that were fallible. The changes that they made were referred to as new light, and this always canceled out previously stated doctrine. For example, vaccines were not permitted in the early part of last century, but now are permitted. And other examples that witnesses used to celebrate Christmas and now are forbidden to do so. As a young child, it was scary to be in such unpredictable circumstances. Was I all right or wasn't I? I didn't know. So when the storms came, which could be the beginning of the end, my soul just ached. The wind blew, and the rain fell, and the thunder clapped. The fear and desperation that came over me is indescribable. Imagine my relief when I heard the gospel and found out that I could be saved. Imagine how happy I was when I learned that God was not angry with me. I learned that God is a God of justice who must judge sin, but that He provided the way out through sending Jesus to die on the cross to pay for my sins. And so the storms rage on today. As I look out the window, the sky is dark and the wind is blowing. And my storm may not look like your storm. Your storm may be the loss of a friend or even the loss of a child. It could be the unemployment, or it could be a difficult family situation. But whatever it is, friend, Jesus is in control. And in His power there is grace. And through the storms He makes a way, even if it's by walking out on the water. Regardless, He is there with you through the storm. Isaiah 43:2 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." The storm that proved fatal to my fears was the one that Jesus got me through. It is the one that pierced my soul with fright. It is the one where Jesus met me and carefully bound up all my heart wounds. The one where He showed me that anything is possible. Mark 10:27, Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but not with God. All things are possible with God." It is the one where He showed me that He is unchanging. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Hebrews 13:8. For I am the Lord, I change not. Malachi 3:6a. The one where I learned that He can be counted on. The storm indeed proved fatal to my fears, but not to my faith. For Jesus presses on.